imagine that we in the future can really make a particle that we can use to control cloud formation and trigger of rain. Then we could control where it's going to rain. That means that when a cloud is just passing your country, you can trigger these clouds to rain. So, and that will, for course, assure water in you, make sure that you have water in your country. But what happened to the next country if the clouds are moving, which is the place where naturally it was supposed to rain? So that could be even a very important political issue in the future. But we are still far from that. I hope this is not going to happen. So all the research we have been doing so far were water droplets sitting on surfaces. And this is not a real model for what's happening in the clouds where the water molecules are really floating. And because any interaction of the water droplets with a material, it changes the property of water. So it's very important to have these water droplets just floating, not touching anything, and just make them interact with the materials that we want to investigate on. Okay, that's the reason why this is very important, because with that we can really model what happens in clouds at large scale.
Like it's something that's you can't really get away from thinking about, where if it's a rainy day you're thinking about it, if there's a puddle that somebody splashes in you think about it, if you're looking at waves on the ocean you're thinking about it. So it's a nice thing to sort of be infected with.
Yeah.
This research on ice nucleation mostly explores mineral particles, not organic ones. But there do exist ice nucleating bacteria that have special proteins in their outer bacterial cell membrane. The Amazon rainforest really emits huge amounts of them, and they're carried by atmospheric rivers and cause rain in different parts of the world.
Wait, I'm gonna. Where's the shuttle bus?
It's contextual. I would say it's a contextual study which situates people's lives, the way they live them, and their reality frameworks into larger pictures. Generally, these are thematically defined by different traditions and different angles and different contexts that are given.
The Western epistemological framework is especially hard to negotiate with when you've grown up in a family where you've had two, maybe three generations of colonized education, in which you've been severed from the cultural and ecological milieu, the knowledge systems of the land you come from, especially in the context of Himachal Pradesh and the Himalayan region, which have been designated as nation-state frontiers, a resource-rich borderland to exploit, and a pluralistic cultures to contain in homogenizing narratives.
Those look interesting. Cool books.
Thank you. Can I get these first?
Opposition between science and spirituality it's a flawed way of looking, and it's very short-sighted. The possibilities there are not only dramatic, but I'd say important from my vantage point, because the spiritual dimension is in a way crucial. The warping of spirituality, which we see in our world, needs a correction, and that correction could come through some sort of more benign integration of science.
Being asked what my mother tongue is has always been a difficult question. Of course, there's Hindi and English, but what about Pahari? When it's not been passed down to you, when it's not taught in schools, and doesn't have a living script? While trying to learn it from my grandfather, I'd asked him what snow is called in Pahari, and he asked me in what form. There are several nuanced words for snow, for when it is fresh, for when it's become watery, for when it's gone hard, and such. Language really can encompass entire worldviews. In Braiding Sweetgrass, Kimmerer had called English a materialistic language, with more nouns than verbs. She spoke of Potawatomi, an indigenous North American language which has more verbs than nouns, in which everything is alive and in a constant state of becoming. Water is not water. It is becoming a river, becoming the sea, becoming atmospheric rivers in the sky, crossing planetary pathways from the Amazon as the weather shamans dance their dances to the Himalayan mountains where they bellow and bestow rain.